2001 was the last year the New York Knicks won a playoff game. So there has not been buzz of basketball that is so unique to Madison Square Garden in a decade in the world's most famous arena. And when the New York Knicks spent the last couple of years clearing salary cap space, a lot of folks thought LeBron James or Dwayne Wade would provide that buzz. But when they brought their talents here to Miami, people thought the Knicks had struck out. But they did acquire Amare before the season, and this week's acquisition of Carmelo Anthony has put a 1-2 punch on Broadway that Knicks fans haven't seen in a generation.
Carmelo Anthony!
What was Wednesday night like in the Garden?
Unbelievable. Just the excitement, the energy. The fans were, incredible. Just for me to run out on that court, through that tunnel, and the reception that I got and received, I would never forget that moment.
It was crazy. Crowd was out of control. It seemed like we was in the playoffs already.
Now you've got to kind of play off each other a little bit to see who's the hot hand or what's the matchup or the moment. How tough is that going to be?
That's what makes the game great, because now for the opposing defense, they have a hard time guarding both of us. You got two offensive threats. It's harder for that team to really magnify that defense toward us.
I'm not trying to come in here and step on his toes, get in his way. I want him to be Amare, and I still want to be able to play my game and do what I do alongside that. As far as me and this guy right here being on the same page and people asking, is it going to work? I don't see why not.
How hard was the year for you? Because I know the people in Denver was hard on them, and I know it wasn't easy on you as well. And now you take a step back from it. What would you say to the people of Denver?
It was difficult, but at the same time, man, I really want to focus in just on playing basketball and just being there for the guys that was on the team, the guys that I've been with for the past 7.5 seasons. But on another note, it was easy because it was basketball. Like, despite everything that was going on off the court and what was being said, I was still able to come in there, be professional, be the teammate that I am, and just perform at a high level every night. In honor of the fans out there in Denver, man, we've been through a lot together. When I was at my low, they were still there. Hopefully I did a great job of just, representing the city of Denver.
What have you seen from the Miami Big Three together this year? As you've watched them and played against them, how do you think they've come together?
They grew. They grew as a unit. When they made the announcement and they formed that team, they formed the Big Three, people automatically put them as a championship team. They went to training camp. They started off the season, whatever they started off, not playing so well, and people doubted them. And then they came back and everybody got on the same page. Everybody bought into, to that system, and now they've been playing great basketball. And it took them a couple months to get that down pat, to get that chemistry down pat. And that's something that me and, since I've been here, me and Amare talk about that. We use that for an example that it's going to take time. We're in a tough situation, we're in a tough time right now because we only have 25 games left, and we got to make this run now.
They're a great defensive team right now. They're playing great. They do a great job of shrinking the court. They play inside out. And they're a team that when they force turnovers, lights out. It's going to be a very exciting game. It's going to be fun.
What would it mean to be the guys to bring a championship banner to Madison Square Garden?
Oh,
I've done my job.
Oh, man.
I feel like I've done my job, man. And, just to bring that gold ball back home and just envision the parade, going up and down.
Can you imagine? The championship back to New York. The fans deserve it. The city deserves it. It's been a lot of hard years prior to this, and to now bring that championship back to New York, will be a surreal feeling. And I can, legacy will be complete.
New York has a lot of things. One thing its sports fans do not have, a lot of patience. So while there is excitement about Anthony and Stoudemire, they also want to see success on the basketball court. But there's not a lot of time to bring it all together. After the game in Miami on Sunday night, the Knicks have 25 games over the final 44 days of the season. 7 of those games against the elite teams in the NBA. So while all the excitement has built up, what payoff will we see when the playoffs come around in mid-April?